Donna?
Donna went outside. Hold on a minute.
See this door. Cause he'll answer.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
Your names?
My name is Juanita Graham Glaspy. I was born in May the 21st, 1939. Terry Graham was my father. My mother, she died early. Her name was Blanche Gray. And I was Terry's only daughter for a while. I think he had a son later on, but I didn't stay with him. I stayed with my grandmother, my mother's mother. She raised me because after my mother died. And I never did stay with Terry that much. I would visit him. He would come and get me for Christmas and holidays and things like that. But other than that, that's the only time I would be around him. He always checked on me in school and everything, even when I got my driver's license. Back then, you had to come to school and sign for the driver's test and all that stuff. So he would always come and do stuff like that for me. He was always a daddy to me, but I just wasn't that close to him because I didn't live with him all the time. I just went with him on vacation and stuff.
And your name, sir?
Oh, my name Donald R. Glaspy. My age is August the 15th, 1936. And let's see, I was born and raised in the country, in the outskirts of Mooresville. And I very seldom got to go to Mooresville when I was younger because we were on the farm. But when we used to go to Mooresville, we go shopping and do different stuff like that. But when I grew up a little bit older, then I started learning more about the town and the people in there. This before my marriage. And I remember when I was in school and I wanted a job. And I looked around, looked like everybody getting a job but me. So I went down to used to be an old that house right there on West McClellan and Main Street. It's old time house. What do you call that house? My memory go and come on stuff like that now. It got old. But anyway, they served food and they had blacks had to go in and you could blow the horn and they'd come out and wait on you. That kind of building. Right there where the Whataburger was.
Consul. Was it the Consul?
No, Consul's on the other end. Consul's out on North Main.
What Miss Hattie worked there was?
No, this building that tore it down right there where Whataburger is. And the blacks had to eat in the back. If you got to go in there at all, you had to go in the back where the kitchen was. But anyway, I went there after a job and I didn't get the job there. So I went to Mid-State Mills in Mount Ella and got a job. And I come back to Mooresville in 1960. Cascade Recap, and that was a tire place up there on 21, which had just moved from out on Cascade. And I worked there till 66, but I was up and downtown then. And well, at that time I got married. I got married in 61 to Juanita, Tiny, they call her. And then from then on, that's when I really met her father. I met him before then, but I really learned him a lot better because when I worked there and I learned about taxes and stuff like that, where your taxes were running and everything. Then I moved to Maiden. Not moved to Maiden, but my job went to Maiden, then went to Hickory, and I come back to Mooresville in 74. That's when I come back and went into that garage out there. Reverend McKenzie, he belonged to that presbytery, so he got me that station there where Knox used to own. And I was in there for 25 years. I started in there. I started renting and then stayed long enough to buy it. And everything was worked out pretty good. We had plenty. Terriers were all around. Taxis were around on the other side. They had a stand over there on the same side, on the opposite side of the street. And Norris was one of his drivers, his brother, but that was one of his drivers too. And it's hard to think about what all was going on. I served all his cars, things running, and so I learned a lot from him about him hanging around there to go use their station for a hangout, you know, when they went out running, doing different jobs.
Who's you want to ask a question to next?
But they give me some questions because I'm about to run out.
How did the two of you meet?
Which two, Terry or her?
How did what?
How did you two meet?
Well, it's a long story, and it's a short one too. I went to see her one time. I talked to her, and she didn't care nothing about me. So I went on about my business, and later on in the years, I come back and start talking to her again. Of course, well, Lacebell, her aunt, and my Uncle Frank Rankins, he was there. So that made them closer. Of course, that was my uncle, so they were talking to her too. And so they got a mind changed. So when I talked to her, it surprised me, but I talked to him again, then we started dating. And that was in 1960. So 61, she finished high school. And then that's when we got married, July 1, July 1st, 61. We got married, and so from then on, been married 62 years. And that's about it. It was okay. I don't know, it's getting kind of rough now.
The older you get, the
The older you get, the rougher it gets.
Oh, but the years has been nice. We've had some good years, and like he say, I didn't approve of him too much. I went to school, and in the 11th grade, I had got pregnant. So I had 2 kids, and I stayed out of school 4 years. And I said, I'm going back. And I went back to school, and I finished. I was in the honor students and everything. When I went back and I finished school in 61. And my aunt and his uncle, they used to tell me, say, oh, he's nice, he comes and plays with the kids. I said, well, I don't care. He played with my kids and everything while I was out and gone for other people, and you know, everything. But anyway, I don't know what happened, but we finally got back together again. And that's what happened. We had 6 kids. We had one daughter that was born with a deformity, and she was at Western Carolina Center for about 15 years maybe. She died when she was 20, and she never did walk or anything like that. So we had 2 boys, and well, Felix was my oldest boy. What I was talking about, I had 2 kids. I had a girl and a boy, and I have an older girl, Cosette, and then I had 4 by him. So we had 6 kids, and now I think we had 12 grandchildren, and I think we got 12 great-great-grands and 2 great-great-grands. So we have 5 generations now.
Amen.
Because we have one of my grandgirls, her daughter's got a baby, it's 5 generations. And my son, he got a son that's got a baby, it's 5 generations. My grandson. So we are 5 generations alive right now.
Amen. I'm gonna take a quick.
Yeah.
You and your wife, y'all probably know I know you know.
So, Miss Glaspy, Lacey Bell was your aunt, and Terry of Terry Taxi and 46 Diner was your father.
Yeah, and Terry's brother Norris, that was Aunt Lacy's first husband. That's how, we were connected like that too.
Okay.
And my mama was Lacy's sister.
Okay. How did that influence your upbringing? I know you said you didn't spend much time with him. Did you spend a lot of time with her?
Yeah, because she was always there with her mother. She lived with her mother. When she and Norris lived in Moses for a little while, and then they finally separated and she came back home. So she was there with my grandmother that helped raise me. So she was always there. And, well, her and Terry always got along good, just like brothers and sisters would. They never had any, falling outs or anything. Because when if he wanted to come get me, she would let me go and all. I remember every Monday, Terry was, he loved boxing, wrestling on TV. He'd come get me every Monday and we'd go to Charlotte to wrestling. Every Monday he'd bring me back home so I could go to school the next day. But that was something, he always did that too on Monday. Every Monday we went to Charlotte to the wrestling. He was crazy about those wrestlers. And we enjoyed it. Me and his, Shirley, his daughter, stepdaughter, and son, we all got along just like sisters and brothers. And they always said, Miss Ann would always say, it's no step nothing, it's sisters and brothers, no step nothing. So we always felt like that, and we were always close like that.
He played a part in organizing the boxing in Mooresville too, right?
I'm not sure about that, I don't know.
He organized a baseball team.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Mooresville Blues, I believe they call them.
Was that Fancy Nails team?
No.
Oh.
That's when the twins, what them twins' name?
Oh, the Walk Boys.
Furnace twins.
Did you know
remember them?
Wilbert and Gilbert Furnace.
Gilbert. Well, that's when they all was playing. Calvin was playing with them too,
Calvin Deturn.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's been a long time though.
Baseball was quite the outfit in Mooresville.
It was the outfit back then anyway, because that was just the way. That's the only way people got out a lot. To get together in a crowd, picnics, was to have something like that.
So Vance Neal had a team, and
Vance had a team after that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He had a team before, after that?
That was in the country, yeah.
Oh.
Of course, I belonged to Mount Tabor with their team. All churches mostly had a team until they all started getting jobs in the mill.
Mm-hmm.
Then the player, they had to go to one that worked in there, had to play on that team, and that broke up the church leagues.
What do you recall about? I know you said you serviced all the taxis. Were there any? Are there any stories that stick out to you in your time as a businessman in Mooresville, or servicing the taxis?
Was any what now?
Yeah, are there any stories that stick out to you in your time as a businessman and servicing the taxis?
Well, in servicing taxis, the only thing I served public too, really. And so what was happening when I went in there, it was kind of rough starting out because the people didn't know me as a mechanic. Black then, you didn't know about no black mechanics doing different stuff like that then. So I went in there and I seen right then that I was gonna have a problem with it. So I went to Ford Place, and when I'd call somebody like that for information, bring the car up here, we'll fix it. Things like that, So I had to do it on my own, learn to do it on my own. So before I left, they wanted to hire me to work for them. So that's how I got along with the people and Terrace Taxi before servicing them. Wasn't no problem, because whatever the car needed, and I was there to do it for them, and he was satisfied, and so that worked out fine.
Amen.
Worked real good.
1 second to the phone.